Hello, this is Greg Allison with Bring Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you on the 8th of April, 2020. And I'm coming to you today with faces of COVID-19. I'm doing this program today to show you that this is real. Real people are being afflicted by this illness, and the affliction is very bad. So you need to be aware of this. There's too many people running around saying this is fake, it's just the flu, or I don't know anybody that's got it. Well, just so happens that, my inner circle, I've got 40,000 some odd subscribers, or almost 41 now. But the people that really follow my channel closest is within 2,000, probably 1,000 people, the ones that are always in every session I do. And so that's a kind of a tight-knit family on my channel, the people that follow me that close. And out of that tight-knit family, there's been 3 that have reported to me that they've had this COVID-19, and it's been real bad. I've also got some Facebook friends, and a girl that I used to date in Utah also is afflicted with this. So, and 2 people at the place I work at. So this is getting around. It is real, and it's real serious. For those people that are out there saying it's not real, it's not this, it's not that, and trying to dissuade people from taking the proper precautions, those people can cause people to get seriously ill and die if people are too lax about this. If you don't believe it or you're doubting, at least err on the side of caution. You have nothing to lose but maybe a little convenience, but it might save your life. And I'm bringing you 2 people today right here on this channel who are being faithful followers of this channel. You've seen them in the chat room many times. So with us on the screen is Judy Dowell. Can you wave, Judy?
Right. Wait.
There you go. She's nodding her head. There we go. And her lovely daughter, Cheri Tate. Just afraid I couldn't say Cheri, but I did try to make her feel good. And I told her that I'm a sophisticated redneck. I can handle saying things like that. We got to have a little fun, but these are serious times. They really are. Now, Cheri and her mom both came down. Cheri was the caretaker of her mom, and she caught it. And that's the thing that's happening a lot. And it gets in the family, it spreads. This thing does spread. It spreads fast. And let me explain something to you. The medical workers are scared of this. When medical workers are scared of something, you need to take it serious. I just myself had a little incident where I nearly choked on some chicken just day before yesterday. And let me tell you what, the medical people came and they were all standing 6 foot apart from each other. And the biggest thing they kept asking me, have I had any symptoms of flu or any this, that? Had I traveled anywhere? They were scared. So fortunately, I got my chicken dislodged and my blood oxygen content was 100%. So I trust I'm not afflicted. Just had a blood oxygen content. All right. So we got traffic here, it sounds like. But anyway, so Judy.
The farmer's coming home.
They'll be coming around the road when they come. All right, Judy. So you came down with this on the 22nd and it progressed rapidly. Tell us what happened with you on the 22nd, 23rd.
Actually, if we go back to the 14th,
February
14th, I had a doctor's appointment. We were already in lockdown. We weren't going anywhere. All right. We were on stay at home February 1st.
Wow.
I had a doctor's appointment on the 14th and I went. And she told me about she had been on a cruise and there was some people she had dinner with that got sick.
Your doctor?
And I was kind of, surprised that she would be open and talk about it. And on the 22nd, I came down with it. So I think that's where I got it. So and her office is actually closed right now. So, because I wanted to talk to her and let her know where I'm at, so that if she needs to prescribe something else, we could do it. And they told me she was closed for a month from now.
Wow.
So what does that tell you? And the 22nd. Huh?
You think you got it from your doctor?
Yeah, I had to. Oh. It's the only place I'd been. So the 22nd, I had a dry cough. It felt like I had a peanut in my throat, like down where the hollow part of your neck is. And it's like when you're eating M&Ms with peanuts and a little tiny piece gets there, So I'm coughing, a dry cough, and my nose got moist. It wasn't actually runny, it just got really moist. And when you blow your nose, you got clear liquid, you don't think anything of it, you know. So I went to bed that night, and when I woke up, my lungs weren't working. They were seized up tight. They would not expand. I could not get my breath. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, I'm coming down with something bad.
Well,
So I tried to get up.
that's less than 24 hours. So within 24 hours, you started coughing.
Within less than that, within like, what? I went to bed, and when did I get up? Well, you wouldn't know because I kept passing out. Probably like more like in 8 hours. I might have slept for about 8 hours that night. So
now, mind you, she has mantle cell lymphoma.
Yeah, I had
COPD, so she is immunocompromised.
Yeah, I had stage 4 mantle cell lymphoma. There is no stage 5. And I went into remission in December of 2013. So I have that against me, and mild COPD from smoking. And in 8 hours, my lungs shut down. And I kind of wonder if I woke up because of that. You know, I might have woke up because I couldn't breathe. But I tried to catch my breath, and I thought, oh my gosh, I got to get up and get dressed. So I'm standing next to my bed trying to put my clothes on, and I passed out and landed in the bed. And I came to, and I thought, oh, I'm sick. I better stay in bed. So I crawled in bed and covered myself up with my covers, and I passed out again. Any effort trying to do anything, you pass out. When you're out of breath and you can't get your breath, you can't walk. And naturally, later, I had to get up because I had a bathroom call to make. And I had a chair midway between my room and the bathroom. And it had a roll of paper towels in it or something. I actually had to move that and sit down, or I was going to pass out. And that's only like 10 feet away. The chair was like 5 feet away.
Wow.
So I rested up a little bit, and then I made my way to the bathroom and did the same thing on the way back, used the chair, and tried to keep from passing out. I went back to my room and laid back down. I didn't know what else to do. Now I have a hospital bed, which is a gift from mantle cell lymphoma, thank you. And I raised the head of it up so that I wasn't laying flat. And I stayed in an upright position, kind of like a lounge chair, you know, just kind of reclined back a little bit. And for several days there, I couldn't breathe and I couldn't do anything. Cheri brought me some soup, and I might have drank, a couple sips?
Yeah.
And I was drinking Gatorade and Cokes and a bottle of water. In 4 days, I had 3 bottles of water. So I was dehydrating.
Yeah.
And after that, I thought to myself, man, I haven't, you know, I kind of came to. I kind of became, you know, aware of my surroundings. And I'm looking at my empty bottles and I'm thinking, wow, I've only had 3 bottles of water. That's not enough. So I started drinking more, and Cheri was bringing me all kinds of frozen Gatorade and all kinds of stuff. And
trying to get her to eat and drink anything I could.
And in the meantime, she's getting sick. And how did it affect you?
Not as nowhere near you.
When you get to the next day, you also have chills, and then you're hot, and then chills, and then you're hot. So you're moving your covers, and then you're putting them back on you. You're moving your covers, and that's the fever. And I was on ibuprofen 800. Bad move. Then they come out and say,
they say that
ibuprofen, it makes it worse.
Yeah, exactly. They say it makes
So it helps the COVID-19 coat your lungs, you know. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have any Tylenol in my house. I haven't had any Tylenol since we had the cyanide scare, you know. And that was what, back in the 70s?
Yeah, I do buy Tylenol. I don't use it myself because it's liver damage. Unless there was something, if I had a really high fever, I would take it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I just take aspirin. I
So
seldom take that very
I
soon.
did get a bottle of Tylenol and started taking that, and that helped. But in the meantime, she's going downhill.
Oh,
But
no.
she stayed upright. She kept getting up, which is good.
Yeah, I only had 2 days of a really high fever. I was running 102, 103. And yeah, it was hot, cold, hot, cold. I couldn't even tell you how many sets of sheets I went through in pillowcases
Yeah.
because I just sweated right through it. And you know, you're laying there and you're just drenched in sweat. But the second you take that cover off, any air hits that moisture, and then you're shivering.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like a never-ending story.
just constant. And I dealt with that for 2 days, and then just the congestion in my lungs and the congestion coming out as I was blowing my nose. I ended up getting fluid in my eustachian tube.
Oh.
And so now my hearing is really bad on this side. It's starting to dry up, but it's painful.
Yeah.
It hurts, and it's a side effect of everything that I went through. My lungs still hurt. You know, again, side effect, bruising of the ribs from coughing. My doctor put me on a nebulizer albuterol because I was not able to get my Spiriva and my regular albuterol in my lungs.
Yeah.
So she put me on a nebulizer, and that helped open it up so that I could get my Spiriva in there.
It was rough.
And just, you know, the constant battle of it. Now, see, I'm on Tylenol. So that's probably one of the reasons why I only went through 2 weeks or 2 days of fever, and then just the congestion. I had to
It's
have
bad.
probably gone through 20 boxes of Kleenex.
We both did.
Just nonstop. And, you know, watched what the medical doctor said, Fauci in particular.
Yeah.
Listened to things, everything he said, and with cleaning, disinfecting, and all that stuff. Listen to the actual doctors,
Yeah.
and was able to start getting the house cleaned of it. You know, we have 4 indoor cats. I was a little concerned with them because
We didn't know if they could get it or not.
they get right in my face at night and give me kisses,
Yeah.
and then lay all
On her.
over me in the bed.
I've heard they can get it. I don't know if that's true, but some. I've
Yeah,
heard.
so, you know, I was concerned with them, and then I have
They
a chicken in
seem
the
to be
living
okay.
room, and
Uh-oh.
Other phone ringing. I turned off my main phone. Somebody's trying to dial me through Facebook, which is on my computer here.
it's not me. We're outside.
Nope, not me.
But yeah,
not looking
it's not
delayed.
fun. It's not fun. It
No.
hurts.
It's really, it sucks your energy because you can't breathe.
It's
Hold your
really
breath.
close to pneumonia on steroids.
Yeah, it's
bad.
It's like you're holding your breath all the time, but you're not. You can't get the air in, but you feel like you're holding your breath, you know. It's horrible. It really is. It's rough. But I don't think my lungs will ever be 100%. And I'm a flute player. So I have good volume in my lungs. So I don't have that good volume anymore. It's gone. I don't know if it'll come back or not.
Oh no.
The one thing we're really watching now as Mom is getting better is a specific lymph node in her neck that has decided to start
I have a lymph
acting
node
up.
here that swelled up.
And so now we're really, you know, watching what's going on, monitoring, you know, all the symptoms she's experiencing now to see whether we need to start thinking about calling her oncologist again and
Yeah.
having a test done to see if this did in fact
Set off
take
the
her out of
cancer.
remission.
Yeah. And I had blood come out my mouth. That was just a couple days ago, wasn't it?
No clue where it came from.
This lymph node swelled up, and I woke up and I thought, what is in my mouth? And I got a tissue and spit in it, and it was just blood. I don't know. I don't know why.
Oh.
And that's when I called to make an appointment with my doctor, and they told me she's closed. So
Okay, so Judy, did you go see a doctor at all?
yeah, I saw my primary care doctor. She's the one that's closed.
But you saw her before you got it. So did you go back and see her initially after you contacted? How do you
Yep.
know? How did you find out you had COVID-19? You got tested? What happened?
I went back to her and she said I needed to be tested, and she ordered it. So then I had to call a number and make arrangements. And she said, you can't just go there. You have to call this number first, and they'll tell you where to go and what to do. So that's what we did.
Yeah, the test kits were quite limited, especially initially. So you had to have a doctor's approval to take a test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doctor,
You have to have a
be in the network,
Yeah, you have to have a doctor's orders.
and you had to be in the specific network so that
Yeah.
it automatically transferred to them, that when you came up and showed your ID,
Yeah.
everything matched up, and just
Wow.
a headache,
Yeah.
an absolute headache.
That's a lot to go through when you're sick. So
Yeah.
you did go back to her, but then she closed after that. She apparently got it, and it apparently hit her later because she didn't have the problems that you had. So
Right.
Yeah.
she was probably asymptomatic. You caught
Yep.
somebody that was
She was a
asymptomatic.
carrier.
This is what we tell people, that asymptomatic people can be spreading this. So people are running around thinking they're fine, and
Right.
they're not.
Yeah.
And so you got it from your mom there, Cheri. So
Yep, for taking care of her, picking up the garbage, picking
she's-
up her food bowls and washing them,
Yeah.
handling them and everything.
She's about 2 days behind me. I think she got it like 2 days later.
Yeah, it was like the
So,
25th was my
Yeah.
first
So,
day where I got sick, and then the fever hit.
Yeah.
well, you got it very
Both of us
fast then.
started out, we just had one episode where we threw up. No reason why, but we threw up,
Yeah.
and then it all started.
Yeah. I try to forget those things.
So you got it really fast. I mean, this is obviously spreading fast. So you got on the 25th. What were your symptoms, Cheri?
I threw up on the 25th. The 26th, I started fevering. Between overnight, I started fevering really bad, and that lasted for 2 days. I
Chilled
pretty much
and-
stayed in bed.
Yeah.
I got up, I'd go to my living room. Our house is like 2 houses put together with a kitchen in the middle.
Yeah.
But I'd get up and go into my living room, sit there, watch some TV, and then go back to bed. But yeah, I was just up and down for 2 days.
Yeah.
And my fever finally broke. And then then the congestion really started building up. I also have a hospital bed thanks to mom's lymphoma. And I did the same thing because I have had pneumonia and it sucks. And,
I've never had it.
I kept myself sitting up because I could feel that congestion building, and it just hurts. Your lungs hurt.
Yeah.
And then your ribs and your muscles from coughing and coughing. And it just, it compounds on itself, and then blowing your nose. And of course,
Your ears stop up.
I blew mine too hard, obviously, and got fluid in my eustachian tubes. But nothing near what I watched her go through.
No. They thought I was going to die. Everybody thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
My sister in Texas, I was talking to her and I sent her a picture and she's like, oh my God, you've got to go to the hospital. And I'm like, no, 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 I'm not going to the hospital, because I heard some guy in Toledo went to the hospital and they put him in a FEMA camp. And I thought, okay, I'm not going there. You know, I have responsibilities. I got to stay home.
By all rights, she should have been intubated, but
Yeah.
I'm glad, because of what I've been hearing from
Yeah.
the, hospitals and
They're
stuff.
just killing them.
Those that are going on ventilators and being intubated are not coming off it.
Yeah, there's a very high mortality rate when it goes.
Yeah, there's only a small handful that actually get off it within a day or two.
Yeah.
And just with everything that we've gone through in the past, fighting the lymphoma and everything,
This was worse.
we weren't going to go to a hospital. If it was time, it was time. But it was really bad.
Yeah.
I was scared to death.
She was afraid to open my door. She was afraid I'd be dead.
Yeah. It was bad. I'd creak the door open and I'd look, and most of the time she'd move, she'd be dead asleep, but she would move, or I'd see her take a deep breath or something. And I was
Try
like,
to take a breath.
okay. And I'd slowly back out, close the door. But yeah.
I remember seeing her twice.
And I was in
like
there
5 days. I only remember 2 times.
I was in there 4 or 5 times a day.
And that was because you brought me soup. I focused on it.
I was constantly going in
I
and,
couldn't focus on
giving
much of
her new
anything.
bottles of ice water. And a couple times I left them in the freezer too long. But yeah, I was constantly in and out, watching her, monitoring her, feeling her head, seeing how she was doing temperature wise.
By
And
the 26th,
the physical contact.
when I
got
actually got up, I thought, oh my God, I stink. I've been laying there for days and I stunk, and I realized my bed stunk. So I'm tearing my sheets off, getting some new sheets out, and trying to put them back on the bed, have to sit down, get up, sit down, get up, and it took me a long time, but I got it done. And I just tossed them in the corner, and Cheri told me, put them in a garbage bag and I'll take them out to the wash, because our washer is separate from the house. And I didn't put them in the bag for 2 or 3 days because I didn't have the energy to do it.
Wow. What do you think worked, Judy? What do you think worked for you? What really helped you?
The zithromycin and the
Zithromycin.
steroids
Yeah.
that she was placed on.
Prednisone. I took 2 rounds. I called my doctor and she reordered the zithromycin and the prednisone. So I had 2 rounds of that over a 3-week period. And I'm still not right. And look how long it's been. I mean, this is April.
Yeah, that's the problem with this. The flu's over in a week, maybe 2 weeks at most. And most people get over the flu in a week. I've had it.
Dragging out.
And it was just a week. And I just don't, it's not something I catch though. But this thing, nobody recovers from this fast, and it's leaving permanent damage in so many people. And they even say that asymptomatic people have problems, that they're just not aware of it, that it actually scars the lungs on a lot of your asymptomatic people and sets them up for other things down the road. So people aren't taking it serious. They're being very cavalier about it, and they're just wrong in doing that because they put people at risk, such as you, Judy, and you, Cheri.
Right.
So
I'm just glad, my kids, I've got 5 kids, and I'm just glad that all 5 of them listened. And 2 of them have kids of their own. And
That's her stepkids.
they stayed home. They all stayed home and protected those kids. And I'm just glad.
do any of those kids live with you, Cheri?
No.
They're all gone now? Okay. All right. So, that was probably a blessing in this case, in that they didn't get sick. At least you had enough energy to keep up with your mom and look after her, even though you were pretty sick yourself. You told me.
I had,
It's do or
one of
die.
these things you have to.
Yeah.
So now you're feeling still pretty weak. You're looking a lot better. I mean, you're looking good. You're up and about, and you're looking good on the camera and the video, both of you. I can see you have some energy now, but what's it like right now? Just tell the world. This has been 2 months. Actually, yeah, almost 2 months. So
2
how
months,
you feeling?
I look out and I see my greenhouse out back, and it's like 1,000 miles away. It's not that far to the greenhouse. I mean, it's just on the other side of the backyard. I mean, it's not that far, but for me, it's a long ways. I have to keep breathing, and it's hard. I don't know. I'm like, if I'm not paying attention to my breathing, it'll go below 95 now. It'll be like 93, 92. And I don't want it to be that low. I need to be over 95. It used to be 99 to 100% all the time. And then this hit. And now I'm fighting to get up to 95. I have to take really deep breaths and pay attention to what I'm doing. But when you're walking somewhere, you're not really thinking about it, So it takes my wind, it takes the wind out of me to walk back there.
Wow.
And then you're not thinking straight. That's
Oh,
another
yeah.
problem.
Oh,
I know I was delirious for a long time. And then when you start coming out of it, you're still not thinking straight.
you're real foggy.
And you're lightheaded, and you just don't think straight. So that's a problem. Your reactions are off, everything, so you got to be careful going upstairs and things like that. Hold on to something. But it's rough. It really is rough. And I worry about what if we don't have the lockdown anymore and I get back out in the world, go to the grocery store and mess around or something. What if I get it again?
Yeah.
Can I get it again? They
Yeah,
don't know.
These are questions we have that we can't get answers
Yeah.
on.
Will I be immune? Or will there be another strain that may be worse?
And we don't know.
I wouldn't be able to handle it.
There are a lot of reports of reinfection
Yeah.
out of China, but data from China is just wrapped with lies and inconsistencies and a
We don't know
whole
what to believe.
underreporting. So, who knows what you're hearing from that country? They're a totalitarian state. You're not going to get the truth out of a totalitarian state, not a communist state or any other form of totalitarian state. You're not going to get the truth from them. It's going to be papered over with something. So,
Yeah. There's
we'll
no
know
way
pretty soon here from cases here. But I hope that you're doing okay and will recover and have an immunity. And you're just going to have to, you've got some health issues already, so you just really need to stay low as best as you can and stay away from people.
I do normally anyway. Had I not gone to the doctors, I would have been fine. That sucks.
Just as a disclaimer for anyone watching, don't take anything in here as medical advice for you. What we're hearing here is a case example of what a couple of individuals have done to take care of themselves, what they deemed they needed to do. And well, they're still alive and with us today. So, we're thankful for that. Now, Judy, you came into my very first chat session I was trying to hold on Wednesday nights. And the one I was having, I was calling it Woden's Woken Wednesday or something like that. So having fun with alliteration, which I like to do. I kind of wax poetic in that nature. And you told us then that you had this, and I have had several prayer sessions already, as a lot of people know, praying for world peace and praying to stop this thing. And I didn't really originally intend for that to be a prayer session, but when you came in on that first session and said that, the only thing that made any sense was, wow, we got to pray for you. So, we at the end of that session, we held a prayer for you, and everyone prayed. And I was really touched later when Cheri emailed me and told me how much that meant to you and how much it meant to her. And
I took my phone in and made her watch it. I said, I actually felt it,
Well, what did you feel? you said you really felt the energy when we prayed for you.
I did. I just felt peaceful and just better. You know, it made me feel better.
You know, ordinarily, because someone tried to call me and it made a racket to interrupt this video, ordinarily I would edit that out. But it takes so long to edit a video. I would like to get this up. I want to do a session tonight. I'd like to get this up before that session. So I would just like people to see your face, because I trust you'll be there. And so many people that have been in our Wednesday sessions have chatted with you and prayed for you. I know they would all love to see you both. And in this time where we're all got to stay at home, we're not getting the social interaction, I think it's important that I do these chat sessions. And maybe I need to do more. I just couldn't do it last week. And I am busy. Weekends are really rough for me because I have a lot of worms I'm processing, and it takes a lot of time out of me. And I am doing my day job here during the weekdays. I've just finished this a little bit ago. Welcome to the Greg Allison Space Flight Center. I look like a rocket scientist, but anyway. Matter of fact,
Welcome to the frog zone.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can hear them, but they're going crazy because it's going to rain tonight.
oh, we just had a big storm here. It was hailing outside here just before we started this call. Big,
Yeah, that's what's going to hit us in a couple hours.
Yeah, it's heading this way.
yeah, so that just passed through here, and I got to check my greenhouse. I hope it didn't do any damage in there, but it was mostly small hail. Thank God, and no major wind or anything like that, just regular stuff. My greenhouse is in an open area. I cleared out an acre in the middle of some woods behind my house. In the front, this is a subdivision. Back there, you're like in the wilderness. It's quite a diversity, and I kind of like that, especially the back side. I don't care too much about the front side.
I counted my trees one time. I had over 150 trees.
Well,
Yet I think I've already cut 150, and there's still another 400 to go.
Yeah. I stopped at 150 and I thought, okay, that's good. But they're in the back here. And then we have the garden and the greenhouse and stuff out there. And then up here, it's still in the country.
well, that's
I've got one neighbor that I can see his house, and the other neighbor I can't see because it's too far away.
Yeah, I lived in a place called Paint Rock Valley several years ago, and you couldn't see any house from that house, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice.
The downside was that guy got broke in on. I was going to college and working and spending a lot of time away, and it was a very long drive to school and work. And when I was gone, I got broke in on.
Oh man. So
that was the downside of that. But anyway, it was a beautiful place, very beautiful place. And it's the hillier, mountainous area in the northeast side of the state, and a county known as Jackson County. So Jackson County, Alabama, a lot of states have a Jackson County. So it's our least populous county, by the way. So I really enjoyed that. But we had a lot of deer. You had to be so careful driving with deer. And I've seen an albino deer up there, by the way. So I really appreciate it, you guys being willing to show your faces and talk about this, because that's a very personal thing. But I think it'll help people. It will help people to understand that this is real, that you're real people. That you
need to really sit down and think it out. They don't want to get this.
Judy, we could have lost you. We easily could have lost you with this, and even you, Cheri. So sometimes you never know. Like your mom, she was just coughing and then a few hours later, she was in serious trouble, and she's just lucky she made it. And we're all lucky for that. And I'm so glad that you're able to share this time with us and talk to us about it, that you made it through. And maybe by doing that, you'll be able to help save others, because now they will pay attention. I hope this video does. I hope this video wakes people up that this is real. I've had so many people, oh, this is not real, this is fake. I had people tell me I would go to HELL for lying, for putting out this stuff. So really, you are nuts.
One of the things that went through my mind, I always think logically. For some reason, I'm very logical, and
Good.
I'm very scientific. I'm
Good.
really good with science.
Good. Ditto.
I was laying in bed, passing out, and I was worried about my blood oxygen level being so low. And then I got to thinking, okay, when you sleep, everything slows down. It hibernates, and you don't use as much oxygen. You don't breathe deep or anything. You're sleeping.
You don't need it as much. Your metabolism is slowing down.
So I figured if I went ahead and kind of went with the flow as I passed out, just stay passed out, and everything would be okay because it wouldn't need the oxygen. And since I couldn't get the oxygen, I had to do something that made sense. And that made the most sense to me. But it really takes a toll on you. And then the recovery time is so long. I'm still recovering, and we're in April. It's like, what? I need to be out there planting stuff, and I can't do it.
Wow. Do you think it's from the virus still being in you, or do you think it's from just?
I think it is.
Feeling?
I think it is. And they say there's no cure. Well, if there's no cure, then it might be like a remission or something. But it's being pretty quiet right now. I don't have any energy. That's one thing. But that was the same way with cancer. Cancer zaps your energy. Now, here's something that I heard. This causes lactic acid buildup in your system. Well, there's a substance called sodium dichloroacetate, aka DCA, that chelates lactic acid from your system. They tried using it for kids with lactic acidosis back in the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
And it's an orphan drug. Well, I've got some in my refrigerator. I keep it there.
Wow.
And that's what got me to remission with my cancer. And I started taking it again because I think that lactic acid may have something to do with this lymph node swelling up.
And what is that called again?
Dichloroacetate. It's abbreviated DCA, like dog, cat, animal, DCA.
Yeah. Once again, this is not medical advice for anyone to take. This is somebody's account for how they've dealt with the situation they've had. But that's a value to me to hear that we know you're recovering. Once again, on the prayer session, you said you could feel the energy. Did you feel better after we prayed for you?
It perked me up. It really perked me up. It was like a boost.
All right.
It felt really good.
So for everybody listening, there's the power of prayer. There it is right there. I've had a lot of people, every time I do one of those sessions, people unsubscribe. It's like, really? Come on, people. We're trying to change the world in a positive way, and you can't handle that. And I always tell people, I'm trying not to be faith specific. And if you don't have faith, just view it as a moment of silence. I'm not trying to pick on or favor any way of belief. I'm just trying to get the power of healing and energy and goodwill spread. And I encourage people to just go out and do good things afterwards, because even if you don't believe in anything, you're still capable of doing good things, and it's good for this world for those that don't believe. I'm not among that crowd that don't believe, but I'm trying not to spread and share beliefs on this channel, because that's not what the channel is for. This is a channel about prepsteading, basically. It's how to get ready and be prepared for what may come at you, how to grow gardens and take care of yourself, how to thrive, survive, and stay out of the hive. And good Lord knows that hive is probably advancing as a result of everything going on, the shutdowns. What I'm hearing in China is they're just now finally opening Wuhan up after 2.5 months. But to be able to be unlocked, to travel around, you got to take their smartphone with the apps on that identifies you and who you are, and if you've had any contact with somebody affected with this, and they monitor where you go. And if you make the wrong kind of contact, your color code may change. So it's a very authoritarian system of monitoring people. So, I hope that's not where we're going. That's scary in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, but, I'm not going to, if it were a temporary thing just to control a disease, that's one thing. If you really think it's going to be temporary, but you do need some kind of measure, and the economy definitely has got to function in some capacity. But holy smoke, you know how the government is. Anytime you give them an inch, they take a mile and never give it back.
Yeah.
So that's where
They
we
need
need
to
to be
get the manufacturing back, get them back out of China. I mean, they can pay. What they do is, they're making so much more money over there because the workforce is cheaper. Well, split the difference. There's people that'll work,
Well,
whether they're making plastic forks or syringes or whatever, PPEs, they need to be here and they need the manufacturing plants back. I see so many empty buildings where, there was at one time a functioning manufacturer. They're gone. They all left.
yeah, we need people to work too. I'm glad to hear your peepers because, when I'm out there doing my sessions, you usually hear mine. So my peeper season is well advanced. Yours is probably just starting here, but for a little bit further north than me in Ohio. But well, Judy and Cheri, we'll stay on the chat for a minute after I end the recording here. So just because I end the recording is, we're so communicate a little bit. So I really appreciate y'all taking the time to share your
Thanks
personal
for having
encounters.
us.
I think that's going to mean a lot to our viewers. We've been praying for you both, and we'll continue to do so until you recover. And we have other viewers who are now coming down with this. I already know of at least one other, and there'll probably other ones. So, I think we all need to kind of stick together and we'll have these prayer sessions, but also the time of isolation. Sometimes people just need a chance to chat. And so, part of the idea behind this Wednesday, my previous chats were topic focused. And sometimes I've made these Wednesdays a little topic centric, but I've tried to keep them more open to the attendees, the subscribers. Now, the people logging on later probably don't like that because it's not topic driven. But, we need social time now. We need time to some way to make up for being locked up and shut down. And we need time to be human. Human beings are social animals. We just need that. We need the bonding. And I'm glad that we have been able to make y'all feel better and feel, we're becoming a family. And so let's just keep that going. It may be a virtual family through the internet, but we're still able to.
Fiber family is better than no family.
Yeah, and you're real human beings. Everybody on the call, or pretty much most of them are real human beings. Every now and then a troll might sneak in there, but now we got moderators. They take care of them pretty fast, and that's good. It's not something especially when I'm doing I do these calls from my phone when I do those, and everybody fusses at me because I don't have it in landscape mode. But it tells you can set it up that way, but it never works because every time I try to do, everybody says trying to find around. It's this one don't work for that. But and the connections are kind of fuzzy.
Did you fix it? No, it's working now.
Yeah, you've got a good clear video. I'm appreciating what I'm saying here. Mine will be a little fuzzy, but it's real. I mean, all I'm doing is talking anyway. I mean, for Pete's sake, I'm not showing you how to do something in these live chats. We're just talking. We're being a community, and that's the main thing. So I hope
sharing stories.
I hope people can focus on that, and we can continue to bond and grow our community. Part of what I want to do is have a network of tribes in this country where people can get together and bond in different areas and locations like chapters or groups, local tribes, but be kind of networked across the country and other countries. I've got subscribers from around the world, and including the Middle East. I've get some Middle East people who have complimented me for the way I've treated the topics that I talk about, even in their area and region, because I do talk about things going on around the world. And one of them said, "Wow, for a guy with your accent, I'm surprised that you said Iran and Iraq instead of Iraq and Iran." You might be intelligent. Well, what do you think? So And a lot of people tell me, Greg, don't talk numbers, stick with your worm farming. Numbers is what I do for a living. I do know numbers. So yeah, I'm going to shock a few people. I've just I'm involved with an online sim. I've talked a lot about a universal habitat. Well, I'm about to show you the rendering of that in an online sim for Mars. So Green Greg's is going to Mars with Galactic Greg's. Hey, I got to start the Red Planet Redworm Company.
Every time we're digging, she'll be saying, "Oh, there's worms," and she pulls them out for the chickens.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or I toss them at her and she's like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
All righty.
I don't do worms.
Hey, I got worms. I sell lots of them right now, 100 pounds a week. All right. Well, I've even done 120 or better right now. This is a busy time for that, and every year's getting a little busier. So, and I just tried to do a video on worms, and I kind of botched it. I'm gonna have to record it. I had to get out. I've got to edit it. I'm probably going to skip editing this video, even though, like I said, it's got that phone call in the middle. You know, I unplugged my house phone, and then somebody tries to call me through Facebook, which is, I should have shut that down too. All right. All right, viewers, please forgive me. And let's have our chat session later this evening. I need to schedule that. It is now 7:45. That will be an hour and a quarter from now. So I will start uploading this, and I'll schedule that. And hope to see y'all in the chat session. And just take care. And prayers are with you, and you'll continue to have a lot of prayers with you. And we'll say we may have other people we need to pray for tonight too. So once again, thank you for sharing. And
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
all right, everybody. So please support my channel. Click the links below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and bang the update notification bell and click all so you can get all the notifications for the many wide, diverse topics that I do cover in this channel. So for everybody watching, I really appreciate you sticking with us this long. And, you know, just let me know you're still here. Say, hey, I like pine needles in my tea.